Hey, it's TB Shores. It's still May the 31st, 2017. It's 11:42 p.m. In the last video, we discussed the importance of this time frame that the Lord had shown me when He gave me the phrase, He spoke to me and said, over by a period of May 22nd. And He had shown me how that's talking about a time frame that is connected to May 22nd and led me to this. Okay. I understand more and more as to why he led me here. And of course, in the last video, we discussed that, and that was about how we see Shavuot always falling in May or June. Okay. I have a little pamphlet here that also shows, if you can see that, I'm not sure. I can't tell. Right here, it says Feast of Weeks, Shavuot, May, or June. So clearly, the Lord is drawing our attention to May and June. Okay. Now, we are at the very last day of May. We are right in the middle of Shavuot. It did begin. Let's see if I can find that page. Bear with me just a minute. Let me see here. It began at sundown yesterday. It runs for 2 days. It's listed as May 31st through June 1st. It's important you remember that. May 31st through June 1st. See, there again, we have May and June. Of course, it began, like I said, the day before. These dates are going to be important as I explain other things that are confirmation to what I'm trying to say here. I'm sorry, I seem like I'm just scattered. It's just I've got so much stuff running through my head. There's so many things that are important to understanding this, and I'm having to condense it down to where it doesn't just run into a real long series of videos, because to be perfectly honest with you, time is very, very short. All right, we've established that the Lord has shown us May and June, and we've established it is connected to Shavuot. We see that right here in this list. We've talked about that already. Now, the importance of Shavuot, there is just so many things. I don't even know where to start. But let's see if I can't find. Bear with me. Let's just read some of this, okay? That'll help get me on track, I think, as I try to explain. Okay, it says the word Shavuot means weeks. It marks the completion of the 7-week counting period between Passover and Shavuot. Okay. The thing I want to point out here is Shavuot means weeks. That takes me back to something the Lord told me. I believe it's in this video. Yes, where He's told me Jesus and His disciples have 2 weeks. Now, originally, when the Lord first told me that, I thought He was talking about TWO. But as I have grown spiritually and come to understand things more clearly, I do believe this was to be viewed as the TO. And then we have the word weeks. What's interesting about that word weeks is it always puzzled me. Now, keep in mind, this was given to me. Let me see here what the date was. The video was made May 4th of 2013. So the Lord must have given it to me sometime a few days before that or something close therein. But this is what He said. Jesus and His disciples have 2 weeks. And I initially thought, oh my goodness, we have 2 weeks. And, I just jumped on the TWO, as in counting 1, 2 weeks. But as time has gone by, of course, obviously, that was in 2013, we didn't have just 2 weeks at that point in time. So I had to rethink, had to back up and rethink, what was the Lord trying to tell me here? So I had to look at each word again. See, it's very important that we look at each word, because God's words, the way He speaks things, has a significance to it. And a lot of times we just bypass words and don't think about them having another meaning or deeper meaning. Even little words like two, you'll understand here in a minute. But anyway, we see that they had 2 weeks. Well, when you look at the word two, that's what we're going to look at. This particular dictionary, the Merriam-Webster, I looked up the word two. You can see it right here. And this is the meaning I want to bring you to. It says used as a function, the word to, used as a function word to indicate position or relation in time. That's how it was used in this phrase here. It's in relation of time because we have weeks, okay? So we know we can look at it from a perspective of relation in time. So we also see that using it in relation and time, it means until. The word to means until. So then it would read, Jesus and his disciples have until weeks. Well, that doesn't make any sense, does it? So then and this was before I knew anything about the feast. That there's so much the Lord taught me after this, but this was before I knew anything about the feast, and I was just in early stages of learning about the feast and the harvest and things of that sort. So the Feast of Weeks and the fact that Shavuot means weeks, the word itself means weeks, was foreign to me at that point in time. So as I did my homework, as the Lord wanted me to, I came to understand that Shavuot means weeks. So then, when we look back at this, then it would say, if we put Shavuot here, because it means weeks, Jesus and his disciples have until Shavuot. Now, I hope you're following me on this. If you need to back this up and listen to it again, please do, because I feel like the Lord has led me. It's like He's been speaking to me phrases over these years that all are coming together now. And they all point to Shavuot. Jesus and his disciples, of course, we know disciples are those that follow him, those that are dedicated to him, those who are surrendered to him, okay? So this is talking about Jesus and those who are surrendered to him, those that would make up the bride today, okay? And we need to understand that everyone in the church is not in the bride. And if you don't understand that, you need to go watch the videos the Lord had me to make back last year, I believe it was, or a few months back, maybe 6, 8 months ago, about judgment coming to the church first, okay? And about the Matthew 25, the wise and the foolish virgins, because not everyone in the church is surrendered to the Lord. And there's going to be a division. That's why judgment falls in God's house first. There's going to be a division. But Jesus and those who follow him have until Shavuot. That's what he was saying then. But I had to take the time to listen to him and to be patient and to seek understanding on this. And it's took a while because I've been growing spiritually during this time and understand things that I didn't understand back at that point. Okay, the next thing we want to look at, and I think we'll get into it in the next video because I don't want these to be so long. that they take forever to load. So I'm going to turn this off here and I'll be back.